Hey guys, Explosive Pop Tart here. Now, I just wanted to review this movie because I just seen it the other day, like on preview day. So I was like, you know what, I should probably review this as soon as possible, but I was really busy yesterday. Ultimately, this is the first chance I'm really having to finally record this video and get it out to you guys. So today I'm going to be reviewing Halloween Ends. So this film is special for many reasons, mainly because it's the last Halloween film that we're probably going to get for a while. I don't know how long it's going to be before somebody else buys the rights, or if Malik Akkad even wants to give the rights to anybody. I'm sure it's going to happen because the facts are, if there's money in a project, as John Carpenter has said in the past, if there's money in it, it's going to happen. So eventually it's probably going to happen. Chances are. Because the Malik is probably going to want money at some point whenever the wallet starts to dry up a little bit. So then you'll notice that a new trilogy of Halloween films will come out or something like that. So anyways, I'm not worried about the franchise being dead forever. So it's kind of a sad moment right now because it's like at the moment Halloween's over, I know that it's not going to be dead forever. So it's like sadness, but also hopefulness at the same time. Everybody is pretty split on this movie. I see a lot of people saying it's dog shit, worst film of the year, which people say about every single film that comes out, so that literally can't be true, because people said it about Jeepers Creepers Reborn, which I will be reviewing at some point in the future, by the way. They said that was the worst film of the year, and now all of a sudden Halloween Ends is the worst film of the year. So there can't be two worst films of the year. There has to be one worst film of the year. So it's either Halloween Ends, or it's Jeepers Creepers Reborn, or it's The Munsters. Like, pick one or the other. You can't have all three, dude. It's, maybe you could have a top three worst films, but you can't have a top three number one worst film. It just doesn't work that way. So people are weird, man. People just love hating for no reason. I think this film is fantastic. It's beautifully shot. The plot is handled perfectly. The character of Corey Cunningham, I'm not going to go too far into it because I don't do spoilers, but the way they handled his character is fantastic. The way they handled Michael Myers' character in this film is fantastic. And I will say this, not as a spoiler, just as like kind of a warning to those who might be going into this film expecting an overabundance of Michael Myers. You're not going to get it. And I'm not going to delve too far into that. I'm just going to say that flat out. If you're expecting a shit ton of Michael Myers scenes, you're not going to get that. So lower your expectations on the front of seeing Michael Myers a shit ton, because it just doesn't happen. And it doesn't need to, in my opinion. I think it works well the way that they handled it. And I don't have any gripes with this film at all. I have had my little nitpicks between Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills, but with this one, I got nothing, dude. It's perfect. It's the best film in the series, and I don't care how much hate that gets me, because I truly believe it. It's, like I said, the way it's shot cinematically, on a technological level, this film is just unbeatable. Like, it's superior to all the other films, and Halloween 4 was always my number one, by the way. Halloween 4, then Halloween 1978, and I can't remember how the rest of my ranking goes right now, but I think Halloween Kills is like my number 3 or something like that, and Halloween 2018 is like my number 4 or 5. But nonetheless, I think they handled this film expertly. I wouldn't change a damn thing. Like, if they gave me the rights to this film whenever they were planning the project and stuff, I wouldn't have changed a damn thing, honestly. Because, okay, well, that's a lie. There's a couple of scenes where I thought that I would do something different. I'm not going to go into it, but I'm saying, like, I wouldn't change anything drastically. Like, anything that was, like, related to the plot or the ending. A lot of people are freaking out about the ending. I think the ending is perfect. Whenever you're going to end a trilogy, especially a trilogy like this with Halloween, I feel like a conclusive ending is the best way to go. I mean, let's face it. Laurie's like 60 years old. Michael's like 60 years old. The best way to end it is to have one or the other die, or both of them die. So I feel like just a completely conclusive ending is the way to go in every sort of way with this kind of film. So I think they handled it perfectly. I'm not going to go into it again. I don't want to spoil it for anybody. Go watch it. It's on Peacock. Go see it in theaters. I think seeing it in theaters is the best option. And even if you do got to shell out some extra money, I think it's worth it. Even if you wind up not liking it, because the experience is just unrivaled. Even if those people out there, those naysayers that want to say that having a home entertainment system is the equivalent of being in a theater, it's really not. Even if you have a sound bar, you got the sound system, you got the speakers all around, doesn't really matter, dude. I don't think anything compares to experiencing a movie in a theater with several other movie fans and experiencing it all together. It's just an experience you can't mimic at home. Like, sure, you can watch with your family. You have your surround sound. You got your sound bar and all that other shit. You got your recliners. It's like, 70-inch TV. It just doesn't rival the experience in theaters at all. So if you have no other option, Peacock is always there. But I would implore you guys to see it in theaters. And even if you have watched it on Peacock first, I recommend you still go and see it in theaters. Not only to support the film itself, like on theaters, but also to experience it. Because this is the last Halloween thing we're going to get for a while. So, this movie has a lot to unpack, that's for sure. It's just, I'm not going to go into everything. I just want to tell you guys my thoughts on it. I want to tell you guys should check it out if you haven't. And that's basically it, because this movie has a lot within that I could talk about, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to have a spoiler review coming out in maybe like a month or so after it gives people like a good amount of time to watch it, I want to make sure that like a lot of people can give it a shot before I make a spoiler review. I'm not one of those kind of people, dude. I hate when people do that, but nonetheless, Halloween Ends. What do I give it out of 10? 10 out of 10. It's one of those rare, perfect films, in my opinion. I mean, of course, I say rare, but I give a lot of films 10 out of 10 because I'm easy to please. And in some cases, that's a bad thing, but in my opinion, it's a good thing because then I don't have to be cranky all the time, whining about every little thing and nitpicking about every little thing. Like, I don't like that. I don't like the fact that they were drinking Budweiser. I like this. I like that. It's like, I'm just using weird examples, but I'm saying, like, people will find a way to complain about anything. Like, oh my god, I don't like the fact that the sky was blue at the end of the movie, or I don't like the fact that this happened, or why did they show that shot of the moon? I don't like that. It's like, people will find any little reason to nitpick a movie. It's like, I don't know why people think that this franchise is like some kind of like I'm a big Halloween fan. Let me mention that. This is my favorite movie franchise in history. But let's face it, none of these films are cinematic masterpieces. This is the closest we've ever gotten to like a cinematic masterpiece, like a film that could possibly win like Oscars and awards for its acting and for its story and its screenplay and the way it's shot and stuff. This is like the only film in the series that could do that, in my opinion anyways. So, I don't know if it's going to be eligible for Oscars. I have no idea. But I'm just saying, like, the quality of the film is there. So, nonetheless, thank you David Gordon Green and company for making this film and this trilogy in general. You did amazing. I couldn't be happier. Even if this is the last Halloween thing that we ever get in history, like Michael Myers, Laurie, they're just gone. Halloween's over forever. You know what? I'll say it right now. I'd be totally content with this being the final ending to the series and to the characters. So, it is what it is. Be upset all you want. This is Explosive Pop Tart out.